Night had fallen. A heavy silence blanketed the city. 6 strangers in different corners of the world received identical envelopes. The paper was thick, almost like parchment. Each one held an invitation. The words, stark and commanding, it promised answers. Blackvale Asylum awaited. Each recipient felt a chill. They had questions, buried deep. Unsolved mysteries haunted them. Blackvale offered a glimmer of hope, a chance to break free from the past. But at what cost? The invitations whispered of danger. They hinted at a darkness beyond comprehension. There was Thomas, a writer seeking inspiration for his next horror novel. He craved the chilling touch of the unknown. Amelia, a historian, wanted to uncover Blackvale's buried secrets. Her thirst for knowledge outweighed her fear. John, a former detective, carried the weight of an unsolved case. He sought closure, a chance to make peace with his demons. Then came Sarah, a psychic medium haunted by visions of Blackvale. She felt an ominous pull, a connection to the lost souls trapped within its walls. David, a skeptic, saw an opportunity to debunk the supernatural. He believed logic could explain anything, even the unexplainable. And lastly, there was Emily, a young woman tormented by nightmares of the asylum. She hoped to confront her fears and find solace in the truth. Driven by their desires and anxieties, the 6 strangers embarked on separate journeys. Each path led to the same destination. Blackvale Asylum stood isolated, shrouded in mist and legend. The air grew heavy as they neared the site. The weight of countless tormented souls pressed down on them. The car rides were long, filled with a silence that screamed. Their thoughts raced. Each mile brought them closer to the unknown, to the truth they sought. But as the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the landscape, a chilling realization dawned. They were not just entering an asylum, they were stepping into a nightmare. The iron gates of Blackvale Asylum stood before them, rusted and daunting. The asylum loomed, a gothic monstrosity against the darkening sky. Its windows were vacant eyes staring into their souls. They stepped out of their cars, a collective shiver running down their spines. The silence was deafening, broken only by the creaking of the old gates as they entered. Inside, the air was thick with dust and decay. The smell of mildew and forgotten things stung their nostrils. The walls, once vibrant, were now peeling and stained. They walked through the abandoned corridors, their footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. Each room they passed held a story, a whisper of the suffering that once transpired within those walls. The group assembled in the main hall, a cavernous space dominated by a grand staircase. A chill wind swept through the broken windows, carrying whispers and moans. Or were they just sounds created by their anxious minds? The air grew colder, and the shadows seemed to dance. They exchanged uneasy glances.
Thomas, ever the observer, felt a story unfolding around him.
Amelia traced her fingers along the cracked walls, searching for a hidden inscription, a clue.
John, his hand instinctively hovering near his concealed weapon, scanned the room, his eyes missing nothing.
The unease was palpable. It clung to them like cobwebs. They were not alone. Section 6, The Vanishing. Hours crawled by. The group explored the asylum, each driven by their own demons. As they delved deeper into the heart of Blackvale, a sense of dread grew. Then it happened. Sarah, the psychic, vanished. One minute she was there, her fingers trailing along a wall. The next, she was gone. Panic set in. They searched frantically, their calls echoing unanswered. The asylum seemed to mock their fear, its silence deafening. Then they found it. A message scrawled on the wall, written in a language they couldn't decipher. Yet they understood. You are not alone. The words hung in the air, a chilling promise. Section 7. The Hollow Ones. The asylum was changing. Walls shifted, creating new corridors and closing off old ones. The layout became a labyrinth designed to disorient and confuse. They were trapped, hunted. Whispers turned into growls, shadows into fleeting figures. Something was watching them, hunting them. They called them the Hollow Ones, entities born from the suffering and pain that saturated Blackvale. They were shadows, glimpses in the corner of the eye, always there, always watching. Their presence was felt in the cold drafts, the disembodied whispers, and the feeling of being constantly observed. Section 8. Shifting Realities. Days blurred into nights. Time lost all meaning within the confines of Blackvale. The line between reality and nightmare faded. Were the horrors they experienced real or figments of their tormented minds? The asylum fed on their fears, growing stronger with each passing moment. David, the skeptic, started seeing shadows dance. John, the detective, felt his sanity slipping away. Thomas, the writer, found his darkest fears bleeding into reality. The asylum was breaking them, one by one. Section 9. No escape. As the last rays of hope dwindled, a terrifying truth settled upon them. Blackvale did not offer answers. It offered only oblivion. Their deepest fears had manifested into tangible horrors. The hollow ones were closing in, their presence growing stronger with each passing moment. The asylum had become their tomb, a prison from which there was no escape. The invitations weren't a chance for closure, they were a one-way ticket to hell, and the hollow ones were waiting to drag them into the abyss.